Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one. Welcome back to World of Tanks with the Mighty Jingles. So, who wants to see a 93 damage tier 10 battle in the Manticore here on Malinovka? Yeah, you heard me right, 93 damage, not 9,300, 93, a 9 with a 3 after it, that's it. 4 shots fired, only 2 of them actually do any damage. Doesn't sound very exciting, does it? And if Greatest Noob NL here, I think he might be Dutch, had led with 93 damage on Malinovka, I probably wouldn't have even opened the email. But the email was in fact titled with how much spotting damage he got. And even then, well, it's rare in the first place to get a very, very good spotting damage game in a light tank in World of Tanks. And it's even more rare on top of that to get one that's interesting to watch, because, I mean, how much entertainment value can there be? Sitting in a bush watching your enemy blaze away at targets that you're spotting. Fortunately, this is not that kind of light tank replay. At least is it first. But not for long. First he needs to, and already has, outspotted both of the two enemy scouts, the AMX 1390 and the enemy Manticore. So the enemy Manticore, well, there's some low ground over there he can hide in for the moment, although the AMX 1390 doesn't appear to be able to take the hint. Okay, he has now. But too little too late, and he's dead. Judging by the shell tracer there, we now know exactly where enemy artillery is, and speaking of artillery, that Manticore's been spotted for long enough now that friendly artillery is about to start taking an interest. If he can just poke his nose out and get respotted, that would be fantastic. There goes artillery. He's just spotted. Look at the map. There, object 268 on the right. See how far away that guy is? Right now, that object is thinking, how the hell do they have a scout on the hill already? And he's backing off. So that's one less tier 10 tank destroyer who's going to make it to the top of the hill. Meanwhile, if the enemy Manticore had bugged out from that bush, Nude would have seen him doing it. And so, well, he knows he's still in the bush, so he's asking the team to shoot at it. Just for shits and giggles, just to see what happens. Yep, there he is. So that's the Manticore and the AMX 1390, both of the enemy team scouts. They're now dead, and the battle's barely a minute and a half old. This puts the enemy team at a severe disadvantage, especially on a map like Malinovka. Because as long as Noob's team don't do anything stupidly aggressive and just bide their time, which based on the hit point totals it kind of looks like they are, the enemy team don't have anything to shoot at. Of course, at this precise moment, Noob's team don't have an awful lot to shoot at, even though one of them has just finished off the ship barn on the opposite side of the starting field. But Noob is repositioning, because one swift glance at the minimap, with his team completely unopposed on the top of the hill, tells him that the entire enemy team are all in this top northwestern corner of the map. And a strategic relocation over here, perfectly safe because the enemy team no longer have any scouts, will allow Noob to respot basically any of them who are desperate enough to try to break cover. There's the other ship barn over there. Yep. Noob takes a shot. As always, if you don't know for sure whether or not you're going to get spotted, assume you are and move the second you take the shot. Noob's also got a pretty good idea of how long he needs to stay out of line of sight in order to go undetected, but just in case, he's not going back to the same position where he was spotted, just in case somebody like the E100 over there decides to lob a very, very large shell in the direction of the bush that he was just taking cover in. Also, that initial bush overlooking the swamp has already kind of served its purpose. The only thing really threatening it was the object 268, and that's been taken care of, so this is a much, much better bush. He's got an AMX 50B, who's now dead. He's got the E100. He had the Waffenträger Panzer IV, who's also now dead. It's time to move even closer. He's reacquired the E100. Actually, 2 E100s. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The CC1 Mark II is dead. His team haven't taken a single casualty yet. They still have 20,000 hit points to the enemy team's 7,000. Look at this. I mean, technically you could argue that yes, he's sitting in a bush the whole battle, but it's a different bush every 30 seconds. He's going to risk a shot here on the T-30. He is, and it didn't even go in. But it's fine, he didn't actually get spotted, and now that the two E100s are dead, it's safe to move even closer. There's the artillery. Oh, there's the other Waffenträger Panzer IV. Dead now. There's just the T-30, the GSOR tank left. This battle isn't even 5 minutes old. He takes one hit. The friendly Concept 5 nukes the GSOR. He takes the shot. 9 whole damage on the T-30, bringing his total of damage done in this battle to 93. His teammate asking him there at the end, did you get 10,000 spotting in that battle? And no, he didn't. He says he got 15,000 spotting. Except he's wrong. I mean, 15,000 spotting would be one hell of a game by any light tank driver's standards. I'm sure if Aurorix 78's watching this video, and he almost certainly is going to be, he will confirm in the comments a 15,000 spot and damage game is exceptionally good by the standards of any light tank driver, except he didn't get 15,000 spot and damage. I mean, it kind of looks like he did, because that's 1,400 base experience from 93 damage done. The rest can only be from spotting damage. By far the top of the team on experience earned. He actually got 16,500 spotting damage because some of it went unreported. Some of it was shots fired at vehicles that had gone undetected at the point where the shell actually impacted the target. That is 16,414 spotting damage. And just to put this into perspective for you, the enemy team started this battle with 26,640 hit points. They actually had a 2,000 hit point advantage over Noob's team. Not that it did them any good. The other light tank driver on the team, who was, by the way, the team's only casualty, also had a good game. I mean, that's 7,374 spotting damage. On any other day, that would be considered good. But it's not even half of the spotting damage that Noob accomplished in that battle, responsible for more than 60% of all of the damage done to the entire enemy team. But I think the most remarkable thing about this battle result, over and above the 16,500 spotting, and you may not have noticed it yet, although some of you might have, if I sort the battle results not by experience earned, but by damage done, and now take a look at the enemy team. Due pretty much entirely to Greatest Noob NL's spotting, and the enemy team's lack of it, only 5 members of the entire enemy team managed to do any damage at all. So while, yeah, I mean, technically you could claim that this is just light tank sits in a bush while rest of team shoots at enemies kind of replay, but while you wouldn't be wrong saying that, Greatest Noob NL rarely sat in the same bush for longer than a minute, but due pretty much exclusively to his scouting, not only did he rack up a quite frankly obscene amount of spot and damage, but the vast majority of the enemy team didn't even see the tanks that were killing them. So even though today's video was on the short side, and was technically just light tank sits in bush while team shoots at enemies for him, I think you can hopefully understand why I thought, yeah, actually, I'm making a video out of this. And I hope you all enjoyed it anyway. Congratulations to Greatest Noob NL for this just astounding result. Hope you all enjoyed it, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.